Hi guys, welcome back to Project Rich Mom. My name is Gemma and on this channel I talk about everything to do with my personal finance journey, from savings and budgeting to planning and organisation and how I make money online. So if that is something you are interested in, then hit subscribe and stick around. So one of the things that I'm really trying to do for this year is to be more intentional with my longer term savings goals. So that's what I wanted to go through today, is just to talk about the different savings goals that I have, my targets for them, and then I thought I could use this as kind of a tracker, and then at the end of 2025 I can revisit and see how much is in these funds. Now I will be, each individual fund I am kind of tracking what goes in and out of them separately, but I'm such a visual person that I really do appreciate being able to just, you know, grab my little folder and just see where we're at, see what the target was, and just to keep me motivated and on track. Because I have, let me move that out of the way. I have been kind of going through, so I bought the binder and then I've been playing around to see what I want my planner slash organizational tool to look like. So I just went through and I printed off a few bits that I need just to start me off for January, just to give me an overview, and then some daily planner sheets so that I can plan every day, because I definitely am somebody that I have to sit the night before and plan out what I'm doing for the next day. Otherwise, you know, there's a very, very good chance that it won't get done. And then each month I can track my budget and my expenses. And then I really wanted a section to do with kind of my annual goals, my annual spending. Again, just so that I can have a kind of a broad overview of the year. So that will be for me tracking my emergency fund, and then that's going to be my annual review. So each month I'm writing down how much I spent on bills, expenses, and how much has gone into savings. Again, just so that I can look probably more so towards the end of the year and be able to see, you know, where I'm at, where I'm overspending, where I've done well in savings, and then use that information going forward to make the right decisions. Then we've got my savings challenges and my sinking funds tracker. And then I've just printed off this savings goals 2025 overview. So let me pop that to one side. So then let's start filling this out then. I apologise for the wobbly camera. I think I've said it before in the video, this table is not sturdy at all. So if it suddenly falls to the floor, then you know why. So fund number one then is my emergency fund. And this has been a godsend. This is really the first thing that I started to do a few years ago, when I really started to take you know, my finances seriously. I think it was Dave Ramsey that I came across that, you know, talked about the importance of having an emergency fund, and I completely agree with that. So my previous target was £1,000, which I had, and then at the end of last year, my washing machine broke. It's actually a washer dryer, but she was old, to be fair. You know, I'd had my money's worth out of her. So being able to have the emergency fund to just get a new washing machine, I was absolutely a godsend. But I do think that with the rising cost of everything, that maybe 1,000 is, you know, something that I can build upon. So my new target is going to be £2,000. I will say, with these savings goals, these are not what I want to save necessarily in 2025. Obviously, the goal is to get there as quickly as possible, but you'll see, some of these are so huge. There just would be no way unless I have some kind of financial miracle. I just wouldn't be able to. So it's just a way of, of tracking to see where we're at. So currently then, after I bought the washing machine, I currently have £800 in that fund. And then, like I say, we'll come back at the end of 2025 and see where we're at. Hopefully that will be full. We will have had no emergencies. Fingers crossed. So the next goal then is a big goal, and this is for a house deposit. And I said a while ago that I was excited because I was making more money from YouTube and my other streams of revenue were doing well, and it was really starting to look like a possibility that I could, look to buy a house, just a small house, but a house nevertheless. And then we had just such a massive increase in the housing market. Prices where I live anyway have shot up. The interest rates went up as well, and it really just kind of, the dream of home ownership ran off into the distance again. But I figured, let's start saving for a house deposit so that, obviously the goal is to improve my financial situation. So, let's start planning for it instead of thinking, oh, I don't think I can do that. I mean, just to give you some context, my parents bought a small terraced house back at the mid-80s for £17,000. They went to look at another one that was £13,000, and they ended up getting this one that was £17,000. And when I tell you that the area it's not a nice area, okay? It's not the safest of places. But for that exact same house now, you would pay 200,000 plus, which is insane to me. So to buy a small home, in an area that, you wouldn't be as nervous about living in, it's a lot more than that. So I don't know as and when this goal is going to come true, but I'm in an era of just trusting and letting go, and what will be, and what's meant to happen will happen. So we're going to put a target down of £25,000. Current balance is nothing because this is a new one, so I'm not going to fill in anything for that. Now the the next one is my £1,000 challenge, and that is from these that I printed off and made. So obviously, no surprise, the target is £1,000, and I currently am midway through January. I've done December, some of January, so we currently have £130 in that. Next up is uni, and this is another new one. This is obviously for my kids. My daughter will be going to uni. When will she be going? Next year. And then my son will be going 2 years after that. But you know how quickly time moves, so that will come around before you know it. So yeah, just to have a fund just to get them started. Obviously, they will be expected to get a little part-time job while they're at uni as well. But of course, I want to be able to help them. Like, there's a lot of things that you need to buy, isn't there, especially if they move away, they're going to need everything new. So I'm putting a target of £3,000. Put that in there. And I currently have in there, what I've just put is £50. Slowly, but we'll get there. My next fund then, or my next goal, is 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Again, this is something that I have been meaning to start for a while. I think it's important, especially as a self-employed person, to have, you know, just a bit of a buffer if things went completely horrendous, that it, you know, it wouldn't plunge me into despair quite as quickly. So 3 months then will be around £4,500. Obviously it would be double that for 6, but we'll start on the lower end, just so it's an easier target for me to be able to work towards. So the next one is travel. And yeah, I love traveling, and I haven't had a chance to do it for a while. If you watch my other videos, you'll know that I'm currently saving for our summer holiday this year. But, you know, my kids are getting older now. They're going to be going off and doing holidays with their friends and stuff very soon. And so it would be really nice just to have a pot with some money in, so that I can go off and, you know, do little trips as they're getting older. And, yeah, more independent means more time to do what I love to do. Obviously, some of it will be, hopefully, travelling with them if they still want to hang out with their mum. But even just like, you know, trips with friends or days out and things, that will all come out of this pot. So I'm going to set it at £3,000. Again, I don't expect this to be full by the end of the year. It's just, you know, topping up as and when. So currently have £800 for that. But that will be going towards this year's summer holidays. So, and then the last one that I am going to write down is kids. And I know I've put down uni, but I'm also thinking kind of longer term for them as well. It's so difficult. I know what it was like being, you know, becoming an adult and going out into the world, and everything is just so much more expensive now. So if I can be in a position to financially help my kids get themselves set up in their adult life, then you can bet that I am going to do that. I want them to start off with as little, no debt, ideally. They're probably going to get some from kind of their student loans. But, you know, I want them to be able to buy a home when they're young. I want them to be able to, you know, have some savings in the bank to fall back on, so that they don't fall into that trap that so many of us fell into, purely because we needed to most of the time, right? Of credit cards and loans and overdrafts and all of that stuff that's, once you're in it, is so difficult to get out of. So just in terms of their futures then, and being able to help them as they become adults, I'm going to set a target of 10,000 for that. I don't anticipate needing to use this for a while, so we've got time to build it up and yeah, help them out. So currently I have £260 in the kids fund. Now, oh no, I have one more. I tell a lie, that wasn't the last one. So the last one is the stocks and shares ISA that I have. I don't really think I'm going to put a target. I guess I could put a target. I guess we could do. Let's put 10,000. So currently in there, oh, I have 950. I'm really trying to get out of the mindset of looking at these numbers, and they're big numbers, at big numbers for me anyway and thinking, I could never do that. Because honestly, I have done things that I never thought that I would be able to do. I thought that I would be stuck in debt for the rest of my life, if I'm honest. I never thought that I would have an emergency fund, and yeah, so I've made big strides already. So I'm trying to use that as my new belief, that look at this stuff that I've done that I never thought that I could do, rather than kind of looking and thinking I could never. So let's work out the total then. The total target, remember this is not for 2025, although I wish, you know, put it out there to the universe. If you want to send me all of this money to do this in a year, I will happily accept. So we've got 2,000, 25,000, 1,000, 3,000, 4,500. Make sure I don't miss one. 3,000 and 10,000 and 10,000. So that's a savings goal in total then of £58,500. See, that number feels overwhelming. I'm not going to lie. So let's get rid of that. So this then is where I am starting from at the beginning of 2025. So like I said, not all of these will be done in 2025. The £1,000 challenge will definitely be done because that's the monthly challenge that I've been doing the cash stuffing for. The emergency fund, that should be filled, so that will be done. And then these ones, let's, you know, just set the goal to make as big of a dent in that as we possibly can. So some big challenges for 2025, but I'm excited to go ahead and start working towards them. Let me know in the comments what your savings goals or challenges are for 2025. Give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.